The Loss and Damage Fund has been a hot topic at this year's UN Climate Summit. After much anticipation and Herculean efforts from poor countries, the compensation fund was finally placed on the COP27 agenda. World leaders have assembled in Egypt to discuss the growing climate crisis. US President Joe Biden is expected to join global leaders in Egypt soon. At the summit, Biden will highlight one of his key domestic successes, the Democrats' massive healthcare and climate change bill known as the Inflation Reduction Act. Biden hopes the U.S. commitment of $375 billion over a decade to fight climate change will encourage other nations to improve their pledges to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and transition the global economy towards cleaner energy sources. Meanwhile, U.S. climate envoy John Kerry unveiled a carbon offset plan at the summit. The plan is aimed at developing countries and meant to help them speed their transition away from fossil fuels. The Energy Transition Accelerator plan will fund renewable energy projects and accelerate clean energy transitions in developing countries.
Our intention is to put the carbon market to work to deploy capital, otherwise undeployable, to speed the transition from dirty to clean power, specifically for two purposes: to retire unabated coal-fired power and to accelerate the build-out of renewables.
So far, many of the developed countries have pledged to improve their climate plans. They've also promised to add funds to the Loss and Damage Fund. But one of the nations to have been impacted the worst by climate change is Pakistan, which feels differently. In August this year, Pakistan was devastated by catastrophic floods. The unprecedented monsoon rain killed more than 1,500 people and left the inundated country with economic damages exceeding $30 billion. According to Pakistan's climate minister, the country will not be satisfied unless UN Climate Summit negotiators unlock emergency cash for the country to rebuild after this year's devastating floods.
So, what goes on in Pakistan won't stay in Pakistan. We don't wish for it to be that way. But the dystopia has already come to our doorsteps, right? We've never seen it before. I hope we won't see it again. But the COP27 has to offer us a plan beyond hope.
This statement made by Sherry Rahman comes as countries like Pakistan and island nations have no time to waste. Any new money pledged, either for the Loss and Damage Fund or for adaptation, needs to be followed up with speed and agility as the world seems to be surviving on borrowed time.